Hey, all my Cancer friends. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I'm here today to talk about Jupiter's retrograde in Gemini starting October 9th, 2024, and goes until February 4th, 2025. Gemini is your 12th house. The 12th house is a house that's a very spiritual house. It it governs our soul's history, our ancestral history. It's a house where we feel unseen a bit. Often it's referred to as the house of self-undoing. And if we think about what Gemini represents, it's the mind. It's the way we think, the way we speak, the way we interact with our teammates, our workmates, our siblings. It's how it represents our early childhood and the experiences we had there, as well as our many of our everyday activities, our roadways, the errands that we run. And so here, having Jupiter retrograding in your 12th house is giving you an opportunity to really review some of the dynamics where you might feel unseen, where you might feel unheard, where you might feel that your voice has not been strong enough or has not been acknowledged. We had Jupiter making a square to Saturn, and Saturn is currently in Pisces, which is your ninth house. The ninth house is the house of Jupiter naturally rules. It is a house we traditionally call foreign people, foreign travel, foreign places, higher education, religion. We also see business and commerce in this house. We also see an opportunity for expansion and for wealth. Now we have the overlay of the Pisces energy where Saturn has been transiting. So we've got Jupiter in the 12th house that Pisces naturally rules, and we've got Saturn in Pisces, which is the natural 12th house. So somewhere there is this square where you are revisiting how you are seen for your nurturing, for your love, for your support of others, for how you, again, how you think, how you process the media, the information that comes across social media, your emails, your local news, the kind of things that you submerge yourself with. During the first square between Jupiter and Saturn, Jupiter was going direct in Gemini, your 12th house, and Saturn was retrograde in your ninth house. Now in December, starting around the 2nd, we're going to feel the square happening again, but this time Jupiter is retrograde and Saturn is moving direct. On Christmas Eve, the 24th, here in the Pacific, they will have an exact square at 14 degrees. This is very powerful to me because it's a fork in the road. And it's a fork in the road that I'm revisiting. I'm revisiting something in the way I think. Am I taking care of myself? Am I nurturing myself? Do I feel at home in the environment with the people that I surround myself with? Gemini there's a lot of social activity in the sign of Gemini. It literally rules our teammates, our workmates, our neighborhoods, our communities. So here, do you feel seen and do you feel visible inside of your community? Do you feel a sense of excitement and curiosity about exploring your own mind and how your mind is in many ways patterned by your early childhood experience? We also see during this retrograde that Jupiter will make a sextile from October 9th as it retrogrades to Chiron in Aries. And Aries is your 10th house of career, of your public status. This will last until about December, mid-December. And this sextile is giving us an opportunity to look at any wound we may have. When we look at Chiron in Aries, we're looking at the wound has to do with the self, with your own identity, with your perception. And when we look at the 10th house, we're looking at it being a very public, other people know your perceptions, or they have a sense of who they think you are. And if you in some ways have been feeling invisible because because Gemini is your 12th house, and the way that you think and your voice and how you speak and the things that you do for others has not been acknowledged. Chiron will give you an opportunity to take advantage of the wound and transform it into a gift. And that gift is wisdom. It's not the erasing of the situation. It's not releasing anything. It's understanding on an intuitive level, Cancer, that when I feel this rumbling in my gut, in my heart, I get to know that spirit is having me slow down because I'm intuiting something that I have already walked through. And in walking through it, now I get an opportunity to decipher and discern whether it works for me or whether it doesn't serve me anymore. Because when we get to February, we're going to revisit all this energy again. We're going to go back at 11 degrees and start our way back through the 12th house. And then Jupiter will move into your first house in June of 2025, where it is exalted and it's in its best and highest energy. So the things that you learn now, or the things that you become aware of now, will serve you in the months and the years ahead as you release any invisibility, any feeling of being unseen, or acknowledging what inside of you or your mind, what loops you might be telling yourself, what conversations you have inside your head that is not obvious to the outside world, but it is tethering you to an old story. I think this is very powerful. I also want to mention that Jupiter is in detriment in Gemini. There's, it's where it's furthest from its home. It's where it has to stretch the most to find understanding and to feel comfortable. Jupiter's used to being on the mountain, looking at big, lofty ideas, the shamans, the priests sitting up on the hill. And now Jupiter's coming into Gemini in the valley of everyday human experience. So while Jupiter is not in its best energy, Jupiter naturally wants to learn, naturally wants to expand. So through the expansion of the mind, the everyday mind, and the awareness of that, it now gives choice. And the square that Saturn is there's going to be a third square with Saturn when we get deeper into 2025, but I'll address that when we get there. Because right now, we also will see that Jupiter and Saturn are both ruling structures outside of our individual lives. So Jupiter rules the judicial system, it rules religion, it rules higher education, universities, and structures like that, including, I believe, if I'm not wrong, that when I look at the 10th house of Capricorn, I'm looking at the president, I'm looking at the leader. And when I look at the 9th house, I'm looking at the structures that support the leader, like Congress and the House of Representatives. So here, there could also be the potential that you are experiencing information outside of yourself that makes you feel as if you're at a crossroads and a decision. Saturn is going to rule authority and in some ways restriction and limitation, which is very counterintuitive to Jupiter, which wants to expand and grow and experience new philosophies and new ideologies. Saturn wants to stay in the old traditional energies. Even if it doesn't work very well for Saturn, Saturn is willing to endure the journey of history in order to build something that other people will feel represents leadership and accomplishment. Because Saturn is very interested in other people seeing what it builds. So overall, what I'd want to say to encapsulate this retrograde is that you could very well be revisiting old belief systems that have been tried and true for you up until now. And then suddenly you find yourself saying, well, the system's changed. It's not what it was. Or the ideologies, the philosophies through the system, they no longer resonate with me. And that's okay. Because as you let what is hidden come to the surface, the light of God will shine on you as Jupiter moves closer and closer to your first house. So this is very exciting for you. All right, Cancer, that's it for the retrograde. Enjoy. My name is Teri Hunter. If you'd like to book a reading with me, my information is below. I'm also live on YouTube every Sunday morning from 11 to 1, where we look at the week ahead transits, and I do a tarot card reading and an angel reading for each sign. So please join me there. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and I will see you soon with new content. Bye, everybody.